There you go. Well, welcome again this evening, everybody. I was just saying the topic is going to be working our pillars this evening, which is a kind of pivotal. I wanted to touch on it Tuesday morning, but I just ran out of time. I was saying on Tuesday that right now we're looking for ways to increase our business, and where do we get business from? Because the question I'm getting asked most right now is people are popping their head in my office going, I'm not busy right now. What do I do? Right. And I keep on reminding everybody that real estate is something that goes all the time. There's always business to be found. So there are those people in the market going, I might wait a little bit till the interest rates cool down again, or I might wait to see what happens in the market. If it's plummeting, I don't really buy property and have it go down in price now, or I might not cash out my investment now and sell it because it's going down. The case is there's still those people that have to move. They've just had a baby, they need a bigger house, they're getting a divorce, they need to sell, they need to downsize, they need to upsize, they need to move because of jobs. So there is always business. So I try to repeat this over and over again because I want you guys to get out of that mindset that, oh my God, the market's slow and now I'm slow. No, you're always busy. There's nothing more business, always out there for everyone. So with that being said, on Tuesday, I went over how to increase our business, where to get our business from. And I talked a little bit about working our pillars. So there are 5 pillars. You should pick at least 3 pillars to really focus on and make those your bread and butter, right? So I'll just share my screen here a little bit. So the first one we talk about always is the past client and center of influence. So get everybody on your database that's supposed to be there. So before we talk about this database, I touched on it last week. I had a handwritten, if you go back over the video, I had a handwritten list. But there's this center of influence listed as crazy. It's a little more extensive. So we were talking about putting everybody on this list. How do you start this list? It's literally just a list. So you can enter it into our Remax CRM. Again, great CRM login. If you guys don't know how to use it, ask me. You're going to enter everybody into your CRM, and that's going to be your family, your friends, people you see on a regular basis, people you met at a restaurant, something you bump into at the gas station all the time, parents of other kids at your children's school. And you're going to put them into your center of influence, your sphere of influence, and you're going to work off of this, and we'll go over that pillar. But this is just, again, a quick little, snapshot of all the people you can put into that center of influence. So it's not just, oh, I don't have very many friends or family here. It's going to be everybody, right? Everybody that you bump into on a regular basis, everybody that's in that sphere of influence that can give you business or refer business to you, right? Because once they start referring, your center of influence and your sphere of influence grows bigger. There's an echo in there, eh? It's his phone, I think. Can you hear me? I'm like hearing myself double talk. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Mark is going to help me out. Maybe if you walk it to him, you'll like mute it. Anyways, so if you go back here now, we're going to open up our pillars again. This talks about past client and center of influence being your first pillar. So like I say, you should pick 3 pillars and they should be your bread and butter. This has to be every single agent's pillar, no matter what. This is an indisputable one that you have to have as your pillar. So it's no contest. You're not going to get anywhere without it. Like I was saying Tuesday morning, anytime that we go into a slower period, where do I pull business from? I pull business from this. Hi, how are you? So you're going to get everybody in that database that's supposed to be there. We're going to print off this database and divide it into 11 equal pieces. Okay. We're going to call each piece 1 week. Okay. What do we say when we're calling them? We either get a hold of them and we say, hey, remember me? I sold you that house. Oh, remember me? I'm, Zach's mom from, the school, whatever the case may be. And you're going to say, remember, I'm a real estate agent. Are you thinking of buying or selling in the near future? If the answer is yes or no, if it's no, okay, obviously you're going to move on. You're going to say to them, hey, do you have any referral business? Do you have anybody buying or selling that you want to refer to me? If they say, yeah, of course, you move forward with that transaction. But you're going to keep in front of them, and you're going to keep top of their mind. And you're going to call one piece each week. So whatever your list is, you're going to divide it into 11 pieces, call one piece each week. So then you're basically talking to everybody at least once each quarter is the idea at the end of the day. right? If you don't get a hold of them, leave a message at the end of the week. If you could not reach them, at least they hear your voice. They remember you. Some people are just genuinely busy. They don't have a chance to call you back or get back to you, right? And you should be mailing to your database quarterly. So what does this mean for us now? Before it was snail mail, you could do that. That's fine. You could send them an e-blast. You could create a newsletter, which is super easy to do with our Remax back office, and start sort of a campaign where you're mailing your database quarterly. And then what do you want to do? You want to add 10 names to your database monthly. How do you do that? You hand out 10 business cards a day. Again, something you're going to hear me say 1,000 times as long as I'm here. 10 business cards a day, and you're going to add 10 names to your database monthly. So every time you go and you get good service at a restaurant, you're going to hand them your business card and say, thank you, not a problem. I actually had a really sweet lady today. I gave one of my cards out too. So I think I've given out 6 business cards today. I haven't quite reached my 10, but just in my out and about. And one of the ladies, I didn't even know that she needed business or that she wanted business. Basically, she complimented me as she was passing by. I thought she said nice day, but she said, oh, you look nice. I guess she liked my dress or something. And so I caught her out in the parking lot and I gave her a business card. And I said, if you ever need anything, let me know, right? So you should just be constantly giving out your business card all the time, right? For whatever reason. You never know when that person's going to get a hold of you. Just get your name and your face and your number out there, your information. So what's the most common objection? Are you good? Oh, you want me to put it? Yeah, sorry, the screen behind me is not on. Oh, this is not plugged in. There we go. So what's the most common objection we're going to get when we're contacting our center of influence? It's okay, I got it. It's quick. Just putting it on the screen behind me here. Forgot for the people sitting here. There we go. So it's the most common objection we're going to come across. They're going to say, oh, we have a friend that's thinking of moving. We'll have them call you. Okay. Okay. So you know someone moving and we'll have them call me, correct? Yep. Thanks for be willing to do that. I really appreciate it. But can I make you a suggestion? Right now, they probably have every intention to call me. However, what usually happens before they call me is they accidentally get tangled up with another realtor that might not put their best interest first. It's probably better if I give them a call. Does that make sense? So I don't really say it like this. Like I say, when we go over scripts and dialogues and little blurbs like this, they're just something to give you an idea of how to talk to people when you're speaking to them on the phone. Generally, I say, hey, no problem. I said, that's really great. Would you actually be able to give me their number? Because, you know, I don't mind. I'd give them a call as soon as I can, because I know that if I wait for John Smith to give his cousin who's selling a number, his cousin's going to go to work the next day and maybe mention around his office that he's thinking of selling. And don't you know that, you know, everybody knows a realtor. So they're going to suggest the realtor that they, oh, I just used this realtor last summer and they sold our house and they did a great job. You have to call them, right? So now you're up against other people. So you definitely want to, when you get that referral business on the phone and you're talking to your center of influence, you want to collect that information from them, because you want to be able to go and call that person proactively yourself instead of sitting like a little waiting duck, waiting for that phone call, right? It'll never come 9 times out of 10. I'm sure you guys have been in that situation where they said, oh, I'll have my friend call you, and the phone call never comes. Never comes, right? You have to be proactive. You have to get out there and no, waiting is a waste of time. You have to be proactive all the time. Always try to get people's numbers. And even when people say, when you give out your business card and they say, you know, I'm really actually thinking of selling soon, let me give you a call sometime. Say, actually, can I grab your number right now? I'll put you in my list. I can start emailing you stuff now. Feel something proactive. So you're collecting that information off of them, even when you're meeting people face to face and you're handing out your 10 business cards a day, right? So what's our next pillar? We can work for sale by owners, right? So for sale by owners, I said, I hope you guys are driving around and collecting every time you see a for sale by owner sign. I had a listing on Bellamy before I joined this office. And it was because I had the for sale by owner sign on. So the funniest thing is I had called them and the owner had hung up on me. So I said, okay, fine. They don't want to list. And then I realized that another colleague in another office that I actually know got the listing, because we all talk shop, we all door knock, for sale by owner, we're cold calling, all kicking it old school real estate because it's the way it works. And so he ended up getting the listing, and I said, what the heck? So I called this for sale by owner again, and I said, hey, I just spoke with you a couple of days ago, and what the heck? You hung up the phone on me, and you didn't, and I realized that you listed with another colleague of mine. And he said, yeah, I hung up on him too, but he called back. So it just goes to show you the perseverance is the way to go. You have to call back. So I've learned my lesson now. Now I get hung up on, especially when I'm cold calling or I call it for sale by owner and they've already been called by 100 realtors and they don't want to listen to the spiel. I just call back and act silly and say, oh, I'm sorry, I think we got disconnected. Right? I don't feel so like, oh my God, they hung up on me, right? Because they're more likely to talk to you instead of hanging up on you a second time. And that's one trick I've definitely learned about hangups. Don't think of them bad, right? They say you have to get 100 no's before, 99 no's before you get a yes. So it's 1 out of 100. So every time you get hung up on, you got to think to yourself, no problem. You know what? That's one closer to me getting a sale or a listing, right? You got to keep a positive spin on it. So what are you going to do for this for sale by owners? Contact a certain number daily. So how do you do that? Well, you're either going to drive to work and see a for sale by owner sign, jot down that number, take a picture of the sign, whatever they have out there. You can find for sale by owners on Kijiji. You can find for sale by owners on Craigslist. You can find them in Facebook Marketplace. When you're going through the ads, you'll get used to learning who's an agent posting. Now, as per RICO, if any of you are posting on Kijiji, Craigslist, Facebook, whatever the case may be, when we're social media posting, we're supposed to identify ourselves as a salesperson as per RICO. So if you don't do it, you can get into trouble. I'm going to tell you, you can go on Kijiji now, and there's going to be a whole bunch of agents on there who are 100% definitely advertising houses for sale and rent, and they're not identifying themselves as proper realtors. So you might accidentally call other agents. That's not a problem at all, because the thing is they're not identifying properly enough that we're calling through to them, and they get upset with you for calling off the listing or something of that case. You could just tell them, hey, you're not up to RICO standards anyways, and I could complain, because it's true. They're supposed to be identifying, but you're going to go through a lot of them, and a lot of agents aren't following the rules. But when you get used to it, you'll learn that when you're going through, my trick is when they're going through Kijiji ads and Craigslist ads and Facebook Marketplace, if they look like descriptions that we would write in the description part of the property, it's most likely an agent. I'm most likely not going to call those ones, because you can tell the verbiage that we use and how we're used to showcasing a property, right? They just don't listen. It is aggravating. It's totally aggravating. They should be posting it properly, right? I don't know. I don't find. Yeah, you'd spend a month of Sundays though, really calling RICO about each and every one. But honest to God, there's so many ads on there. If you guys go and see, there's so many ads, and it's agents, and some of them are really good and they identify as an agent, and some of them don't. And I've seen everything on there: lease to own opportunities to purchase homes, call me, or financing with low down. You know, like they're definitely baiting people to call them, and they're not identifying as proper agents on there. I don't know. I don't have time to go through it and complain to RICO about everybody. I rarely. They would if you complained. They definitely would if you complained. You know, they don't. They'll call you out. So I know this for a fact, because I want to say 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I thought, oh, let me try to post on Kijiji a little bit. And I guess somebody told on me, and RICO called me. Like, they definitely called me out to send me an email saying, hey, you're not supposed to be on here. Yeah. So yeah. So don't worry. They will call, because it's part of their advertising guidelines that they have out for us. So we have to follow those, right? It's just like, I don't know if you guys ever go and you see people offering cash back, or you see that their sign doesn't have the proper information on it, or they hand you a business card and it doesn't have like their brokerage email, or it's all, there's so many of us. RICO doesn't go through all of our content to make sure it's proper. RICO responds to complaints. So if you have somebody and they take your card and they go, oh, you're not allowed to put that on there. You said you're award winner and you didn't put the years. So we can't say we're award winning agent, even though we won awards. I have to specifically say 2017, this award, 2017, 18, that award. That's as per RICO guidelines. So if you catch people doing that and you have time, or maybe you don't like a certain realtor or something, I'm just saying you can go and complain. But for the most part, RICO doesn't go through the content. They wait to actually get a physical complaint about it, saying that somebody isn't complying with the rules, right? So it's a risk you take. You can do it. If someone out there sees your ad and complains, you can get into trouble, right?
So today everyone is showing and asking brokerage license also you have to show them. They put it
Not broker, RICO license.
yeah, RICO license. Yeah. I mean,
The last four is
the license. But normally the paperwork is not normally not there. Somewhat today one is paper the access is showing. You have to show that things. That's why because of those people.
Yeah.
Put it there,
But you can pull it up on your phone, your RICO. Do you have your RICO app?
I have
Because I used to hate it when you get to the concierge and then they were asking for RICO license. I had to go running back to the car.
Yeah.
Now we've got the app.
Yeah.
So I just pull up my phone. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. Ever since it came out on the app, right?
I can download the app and
Have your RICO license display like this. I'll show you. So you just go and you log in. I probably have to log in because it's updating my app now. But it's just the RICO green. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see online there. It's just this RICO green right here. I don't know if you guys can see that on the screen. I'll put it real close for you guys. But RICO, and then if you ask for it, you just show them this and they'll accept that. You don't have to carry your paper copy anymore.
Yeah.
This isn't new, but it was great
Better,
because think of it back in the day, anytime I forgot it, because most showings you don't need it. Then you run into the showing where you need the RICO license and I'd be running back to the car to my wallet, right? Because where am I going to keep my RICO license? I don't keep my wallet on me all times, right? Guys, it's easy. Put your wallet in your pocket, right?
Parking lot, there are two
I have to log in.
You have to log in. It's the same login as your RICO when you go to my web on RICO, right? And it's for the app there, and that's your RICO license. And you show that to the concierge, so you don't have to show the paper, right? Then it's on you at all times, right? So yeah,
Most
so
of the time I call them and find out, I give it to them.
oh no, that's right on your phone now. Your RICO license all the time.
I have it in the phone.
Yeah.
Look and big problem.
Yeah, I know. So don't worry about it. Yeah, but you don't need that. You don't need that, Sebastian. You download the app on your phone.
You always carry.
That's good though. That's good.
Oh.
So yeah, back to for sale by owner. So we can go around. I encourage you guys. I hope you're taking down every number you see on all those signs out there. I used to have a guy in my other office. We were sitting there, we were talking one day, and my old office, we used to have a for sale by owner list they'd send out every Sunday. And we'd call them. And one guy said to me when I was training, he goes, yeah, but isn't the whole office calling? You know, and some people will say that, like when we are calling for sale by owners, a lot of other realtors are going by that sign and taking that number and trying to call their realtor. In fact, I've tried door knocking some for sale by owners, and they put a note up on the door, if you're an agent, don't knock on the door. Because they just get bombarded, right? So you have to go over your for sale by owner script, right? And see how to get past that, right? So anyways, we'll just go over, see what it says here, and then I'll talk to you a little bit about the script. So, you know, set a specific time to make the contacts. You're going to do all lead follow-ups on Mondays, door knock Tuesday afternoon between 1 and 3, those that had a good conversation with you and those that you have not reached yet. Yeah, and you got to get face to face with them. You're at the end of the day, I always say you're never going to land a deal over the phone. No one's going to call you and say, hey, list my condo, let me sign right now. You have to get face to face with people, right? And then drop off, they say, drop off how to save commission form or something, you know, something of value to them, right? So what are your most common objections that they get? For sale by owner, they say, we already have an agent. If this doesn't sell, we can't sell it on their own. We already know an agent. We're going to list with an agent, right? So, okay, already you have a realtor that you're going to list with, correct? Yep. Thanks for sharing that with me. I really appreciate it. Can I make a suggestion? I would suggest a second opinion just to make sure you've selected the right realtor. Does that make sense? What's better for you, Tuesday or Thursday? If I bring a buyer, I will pay you. If you bring a buyer, I'll pay you 2.5% or 3%. A lot of them will say. So I say to them, okay, if I bring you a buyer, you'll pay 2.5% or 3% to me. 3% is more than we normally make. So it's kind of odd that you're a for sale by owner. Now you're going to offer me 3%, right? Thanks for the opportunity. I appreciate it. Can I make a suggestion? I would like to be in a position to speak intelligently to my buyers about your home. When will be the best time to see it? Tuesday or Thursday? Okay, while I'm there, I'd like to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. My presentation only takes 15 minutes. If it makes great sense, great. If not, no problem, right? So the gist of the script is I like to kind of take it apart. Basically, you're trying to call it for sale by owner. All the other agents out there are saying to them, hey, can I list your home? You know, you're selling for sale by owner. Can I list your home? I'm going to sell it for you faster. I'll have better exposure on MLS, whatever the regular things you're saying to clients all day long, right? With this objection handler is basically taking it and saying, hey, if you're willing to offer me 2.5%, 3%, great, no problem. But how can I speak intelligently about your property unless I come and see it? Do you mind if I come and see it tomorrow evening? Sure, great, no problem. Then I can see what buyers it suits, right? This is a good objection handler, but I also find another one that has worked for me well over the years is I try to talk some sense with them, especially these crazy for sale by owners who are offering me 3% as the buyer agent when the going rate is 2.5%. I say to these for sale by owners, and I say to them, listen, you're paying 2.5% to the buyer agent or 3%, right? So you're paying for the buyer to have representation in a large transaction, correct? Yeah. You're not protecting yourself by hiring an agent to protect your interests. So you're actually paying for a buyer's, interest to be protected and not giving a single, care in the world about your own protection in one of the largest transactions that you're doing in your lifetime. What do we do that's larger than real estate really on a regular basis? Nothing, right? So you have to say to them, you have to talk some sense, say, why don't you take that 0.5% that you're willing to give extra to this buyer who brings your buyer, add another 0.5%, because these guys are going to be hard for full commission. You can try and push for it, but I usually say take that 0.5%, add another 0.5%, and I'll represent your best interest in this transaction. I'm used to reviewing the legalese in these contracts. I'm used to seeing pitfalls, things that a buyer agent might put in there to trick you, or, to try and like extend terms for their client, or have, escape clauses, stuff like that. So I don't understand why 0.5% isn't worth that to have your own protection. They're only thinking 5%, 5%, I'll even offer the buyer more and I'm still saving 2%. And they're not thinking to themselves that they're in no way are protecting themselves in this transaction. That buyer agent is not coming with their best interest in mind. Right? So it seems really silly. You bring it down to that silliness at the end of them saving 0.5%, right? And I'm saying you're offering them more than industry standard to protect the buyer and not you. Industry standards is normally 2.5. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense in my head, right? They kind of come around when you talk to them like that and you say just really logically what the whole scenario is and how it doesn't make sense, right? And they should be protected, right? It's important. It's super important. So then, yeah, for sure. So the third pillar we're going to go over is expired listings. So they say USA clients, they kind of like protect themselves because here, contact after expired, kind of puts them on a do not contact list. We're not really supposed to be contacting expired listings. Everybody's doing it. So for training purposes and, not because it's my advice. If anybody watches this video, we go call the expired listings, call the terminated listings. You're going to have to. So that everybody knows how to look up a terminated and expired listing, right? Let me stop the share and go to just MLS for a second before I go over this. Otherwise, I don't want some of you watching this back or watching it currently going, how do I do that? What's an expired listing, right? Where am I here? Yeah, for sure. I'm just going to log into MLS here so we can go over it. Who, anybody calling? A lot of times when the first agent doesn't sell the house, you'll find that the people get a kind of a sour taste in their mouth for that agent. And we all know it's not necessarily that agent's fault. We have lots of listings that don't fly on the first time we go to list them. This is why you have to be communicative with your clients. You have to be telling them the reasons why their house is not selling. You have to be getting in touch with them on, a daily or every 2-day kind of basis to tell them if you leave them to the wind and let your listing expire and you don't communicate with that client, that listing is not coming back to you, because they're going to get in that state where, like we're going to talk about now, where we're going to come and we're going to like gently pick on the reasons why this listing hasn't sold and try and get the listing ourselves, right? For expired and terminated. So I'm just going to stop the share and make sure you guys can see this and come back into it to make sure my online peeps can see it there. So we're going to go into expired and terminated listings. Okay. And how do we do that? Okay. It's a little bit of work, but I do it on a regular basis. I did it last week because last week I was sitting at the beginning of the week going, okay, a little slow now. Where am I pulling business from? Start calling everybody in my center of influence. Hands down, the first place you guys always go back to. Okay, the second place I go is I like door knocking. So I want to see what's expired, what's terminated, what can I go door knock? And it's nice weather. Lots of people are doing roofs now, lots of bins in lots of driveways. The rentals are happening. Lots of garbage to the curb, people thinking of moving. Hi, I'm Christine from Remax. How can I help you? I love door knocking. It gets business, right? So expireds and terminated. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to do around the office so everybody has an idea. But what you're going to do is you're going to pick your area that you work in most, right? Obviously. So we're going to go to search. And I want unavailable. Okay. And I'm going to go into here and see, and you don't want to have too many. It'll get overwhelming. Don't think I'm going to see what everything that's terminated expired in the last year. It'll take you again a month of Sundays, right? So I'm just going to go to EO4. Okay, and you can see there I have, whoopsie, trying to just move my Zoom screen out of the way so I can see, 2,157 listings, right, that have expired. So how am I going to refine this? I want to know what's expired because I don't want the sold ones. I want to know what's expired and terminated. Okay, I'm down to 545 and I think I'm just going to go, oops, not sold, last update. So last time it got updated to expired and terminated. Let's go back to February and see what that gets me. Is it going to be a lot? Let's see. 71. I wouldn't even work with this list. It's a little much for me to go on one day and then go chase after. You're not going to go knocking on a bunch of doors like that. 60. Okay, fine. We'll go back to March 1st. We'll see how that is. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up this list and see what's expired or terminated. So the first thing I do is I sort by, you don't have to sort anyway. This is just the regular way I do it. So I can see, okay, oh, there's 2 on Virgin. Twice Compton got terminated. They might be getting frustrated. And I normally go and I print this list. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to do that. We're used to printing full listings. I want list rows. Okay, so if I go to print preview, I'm not actually going to print it right now. It's going to give me this nice little list that I'm actually going to print off and see it's only like a page or 2 long. Okay, let me take that back to my desk. And now what am I going to do? I'm going to open up a new window here just so you guys can see. And I'm just going to start with the first one. This is why I don't pick a list that's like 500. Even 60 is a little much, right? I just start going through them. So 96 Virgin. What's the story on that one? So I'm going to go and I'm going to see here now. And it takes a little bit of time, guys. But trust me, this is the way you find out that property that's been listed 2 or 3 times that they're just so fed up with their agent that they're ready to list with somebody else, right? Now I've talked too much. I've forgotten the address. 96 Virgin. So 96, 96. Virgin. Okay, I have 3 that have come up. I see terminated, sold, new. Okay, so sold is from before 2020. They must have flipped the house or something. They put it up. It's back up new with this agent. This is crossed off my list today. I'm not door knocking Virgin. Let's check 11 while I'm here. Let's go back to criteria. I would like to find one while we're online with each other here so we can, you guys can see what I mean. 11. Okay. So there's only one. So he was listed just in April. This is a hot one. Okay. So I'm going to find out. Let me see. I want to call this guy right now. John Ruchotis. Okay. So we're all talking about telelisting a lot lately. I don't do the telelisting. I did it for years. I just go here and I do either reverse address or I type in this guy's name just to see if I can call him quickly. John Rucho. I forgot how to spell that now off the top of my head. R-O-U. Yeah, Ruchotis. Let's see if I luck out. I don't know. I didn't practice this. I should have found one I could have done for you guys before. So we didn't find any John. Fine. Okay, no problem. Maybe John's wife is listed on here. 11 Virgin. Okay. I'm going to do reverse lookup. See if I luck out that way. Okay.
Sometimes you can find it.
11 Virgin. Okay. Let's see what we find from 11 Virgin. Okay, so we got a whole lot of people on Virgin. I don't see 11 or come up automatically, but it's brought me everybody else up on Virgin. So this one, I'm going to put a little note right beside 11 Virgin now that I printed. Door knock. That's a door knock for me today. He's just expired at the end of August. He didn't sell. What am I going to say when I door knock this terminated or expired? I'm going to knock. Hi, I'm Christine calling from Remax. So just walking your neighborhood. Beautiful. I see actually on my list that you were up for a little bit in April. What happened? Did you get a lot of showings? You got a lot of showing, you didn't get a lot of offers though. Why not? What happened? Did you have an offer date set or you didn't get what you wanted? Yeah, the market's fallen a little bit. Do you mind if I come and take a look inside your house? I have buyers looking in this area and I think they might like this property. You come inside, you're talking with them a little bit longer. You just got to get yourself in the door. The more you're talking to this person, the more you get a relationship going, the more likely you get a chance to call them again. Even if this person doesn't list with you right there and then today, I might really watch this because I think this is a hot one now. And I'm going to call them and go, did you see that other one that was up on Virgin? It just sold, eh? It was 1.2. Yeah, I know you really wanted 1.275, but like, I mean, that's not bad considering the market's fallen 10%, whatever the stats are. Do you want to try and list it? We should try and list it. Why not? Let's see what happens. No harm, no foul. You have to create a relationship with these terminated and expireds because they want to sell. They're not a cold call, right? You guys all think, a lot of people, not you guys specifically, but I'm saying like anybody I've trained over the years, they think cold call. I hate cold calling. This isn't a cold call. You're not just calling some random number. Hey, you think you're buying, selling? No. Hey, you think you're buying, selling? No. They've been listed already. They want to sell. They've been on the market. They put their house up, right? This is a warm call. So terminated and expireds is definitely something that you want to tap into and go, and then it should 100% be a door knock if you guys aren't getting their number on the phone, right? So I'm just going to go back here to our other pillars we've been working, bring that up again. What does it say here? Let me stop the share and come back. How's everybody doing online here? You guys try door knocking at all, or calling terminated or expireds? Okay, past client and center of influence. We went over that one already. For sale by owner, we're working on expired listings here. So expired listings, call early on the day of expiry. No, wrong, totally wrong. I've done this enough. You got to call before it expires, which is technically under contract. And again, maybe I won't post this video on YouTube, but you got to call before, because if you call the morning of, they've already listed with somebody else. They already have somebody else they've been talking to.
But we are signing for 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
We're terminating.
Mm-hmm. You're either terminating or expiring, whichever.
Terminating.
Okay.
Okay. Today, 1 week, my client, me and I, they
don't want to list with you anymore. Yeah.
They're saying, oh, you don't know how to sell, and this and that. They talk and they want to go experienced guy.
Yeah.
And then I have a 3-month paper. I can keep, they cannot, anybody can come inside.
Anybody, because you terminated your relationship with them prior to the expiry.
What can I do without terminate? I can suspend.
You can suspend.
Suspend different and terminate different.
Yes. So suspend means you're still under contract with them until expiry.
Okay.
But any other smart agent trying to get their listing is going to tell them. And same with you guys. If you come across a client who says, oh, I don't know what to do, I'm under contract until September with this guy, and you look and it's just a suspended listing, I say
nobody, if you listing
in
2 weeks you terminating, the next day I go find the listing, I take it, I put it, for me no problem.
No problem. It's terminated. It's no longer under contract. But the thing is like I say, 2 things. Suspended, just quickly, we touch on that. Any agent out there will tell your client, if you suspend it, you think, oh, I'm kind of smart, suspended, give them time. They'll say, I want a cancellation then, because they're gonna, and you should do that. Any clients that they're unhappy and say, oh, I really want to list with you, but I'm stuck and it's suspended right now. You say, well, no, it's your right. You're going to sign a cancellation form at any time, right? With that client, sign the cancellation, get them to sign the cancellation form, then we can think.
No,
You terminate or cancellation prior to expiry, whichever. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, terminate. But you were asking me about suspension. Suspension has to be canceled in order to terminate the listing. You have to cancel the listing.
We have to terminate it first.
Terminate. Okay. Has to be terminated. You can't list a property that's suspended.
Okay, yesterday I terminated.
Yeah. Somebody can come list it. Yeah.
So
yeah.
How about if he show that property, one of his clients, and now he's taking over the list?
Yeah. So you have a 90-day holdover period, right? So the way the 90-day holdover period works is if you can prove that that person came in the time that you had the contract with the client, if they've come back within 90 days and now decided to buy the property, you have claim to that commission.
So you have to wait until 90 days.
Yeah. So you have to wait until 90 days for, no, you don't have to wait until 90 days. You can start a new listing and it's your marketing that's bringing everything in.
But he can bring the same client within the period.
The same client that saw somebody else's listing, it depends. Okay, so it gets really convoluted. Okay, so we don't, the listing agents don't necessarily know the names of our clients we're bringing in. So, okay, say I have a listing today, Vaheeson brings in John. Okay, John sees the listing. Okay, now you take the listing over tomorrow, it's
No,
terminated.
I'm taking this.
Yeah, okay, you want to take listing because you showed it properly. Okay, you take over the listing, right? And you now tell John to buy it.
I can.
That listing agent doesn't know your client that you brought in.
No. Yeah, but still, if he finds.
If he finds out, you can get into trouble.
Yeah.
Right. Now the only way they know is if that your client went in during an open house or something.
The other day I put an offer.
Yeah.
They reject it.
Yeah.
Now I got the listing.
Yeah.
So I want to bring it back to the same.
That's way riskier because they know the buyer's name. Way riskier because when we're taking our buyers all day long, even when they ask for your buyer's name, I never put my buyer's name in there. You know, when you do the form, I always just put John. And I don't know, I make up a name. I put my name sometimes, Christine. They don't know.
Is it okay if I show it to that property? Can I take myself to put in a listing within the period or no? I can't put.
As long as they're terminated, expired, or have canceled.
Because I visited on that time.
You visited during that time. Yeah, that's right. But they don't know who your buyer's name.
No.
Oh, yourself. Can you purchase the property?
Yeah, not like, can I take over the listing?
Yeah, of course you can. Lots of people have done it. I know agents in this office who've done it and they've been fine, right? Because they asked me, I said, okay, if you go in and you happen to bump into the owner and they're saying, oh my God, this guy's listed it twice. Now it's not, why is it not selling? And you bump into the owner and you happen into a conversation and they want to use you, as long as you're not soliciting them on their phone and they can show text where you're like, oh, drop the other agent, use me, blah, blah, blah. If you are talking to them and you give them the card and they call you and they want to use you and terminate it, it's fine. It's seller's choice. It's their right to terminate a listing and cancel it. That's why I say, if you come across a suspended listing, just ask them to cancel. Say you have to cancel before you can sign with me, no problem. But as long as it's canceled, terminated, no problem. It's fine. Even if the other guy's mad at you, I've taken over listing and they call me next day, go, what do you want me to do? He called me. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I can't help it. That's the way the world works. Your car doesn't, you don't like your car, you switch your car. You don't like this product, you switch to a different product, right? Yeah. As long as you're not soliciting them, don't be calling people under contract saying, hey, you should use me, you should use me, you should use me.
That's no good.
You're not allowed to. And like, especially if it's written and they can prove it, you'll get into trouble because you're not allowed to solicit someone under contract, right? But there's no harm in you taking over a contract because they want to use you. We're agents working in the field. If that agent doesn't do the job or is unable to sell it, they're just finding another agent, right? Even if you happen to show the property, you just say, no, I had bumped into the owner and they asked me for my card. Or how do you know that you don't drop the card at the, that's happened to me before in Peterborough. I dropped my card, but because I speak French, right? The guy said to me, he was yeah. I dropped the card and he said, I noticed that you speak French, right? And he goes, I speak French too. And he goes, my agent is not doing so great. He says, can you come and list it here? I said, sure, no problem. He just took it because I left the card on the table. So it's not me soliciting the owner, right? Yeah. You're fine as long as you're not soliciting them.
You can list it exclusively if the buyer that you brought in the first time and it was listed with another real estate agent, the thing expired. You can go back and say, listen, my buyer wants to see the house a second time. He likes it, list the house.
No, you're more likely to get in trouble that way because exclusive or MLS, RICO rules still apply. And I wouldn't ever admit that my buyer wants to see it a second time, really and truly, if I had taken them through the first time, because I'm admitting right there that I owe the first guy half my commission now for initially introducing that client to the property. Right. But like I say, we're not bound to say who our buyers are when we're booking showings. So you say, no, I brought in another buyer and now this is a different buyer.
Yeah, but
unless they know somehow. Yeah. Like, I mean, a lot of them have cameras in their property now. So you have to be mindful of these things, right? If you're bringing through the same buyer for sure. Yeah.
One day I didn't remove the shoe, but it's just a first step. Yeah. Someone say, hey, can you please remove your shoe? Yeah. Talking on their camera. Yeah. I know. I had clients who did that too. They call me and they go, there's 4 people. You said it's 3.
And I'm like, oh my God, they're watching on every showing on their camera. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Even Taran property,
Yeah,
I listed 3 or 4 years back.
yeah.
He hid somewhere, camera.
So funny.
Who's Taran? Yeah, Taran.
So funny.
So me and other agent, we
They're
are
suspicious.
sitting there and discussing. He came by voice. I'm checking everywhere. Where's voice coming from?
My brother is so hooked up. So we are on the same street. I can't drive by. It picks up my car. He'll be like, you just drove by my house. And when I walk to his door, his face recognition. So it says Christine's at the door. Like there's no sneaking up on my brother, right? His whole house is souped up. It's can't open a door or nothing, right? So it's crazy for sure. But yeah, you just got to be careful what you do. So they put this holdover in because this does happen. And obviously, if you're not doing it purposefully and soliciting the client, because if you have a client that's genuinely interested and I say, no, I'd rather double end this. So you know what, that agent is doing a good job and maybe I'll do it. He's doing for 3.5. I'll do it for 3 because I know I got both ends of the deal already and cancel with him and list with me tomorrow. As long as it's not done like that and there's going to be a whole, hell to pay with Rico, fine. Sometimes things just organically happen, right? But they did it because people were doing this. Right, to save commission.
One of my friend, he listed with the other agent.
Yeah.
So he wanted to cancel listing. He said, I don't want it to terminate. I'm going to put in a suspect. He called me right away. I said, no, ask him to terminate.
Yeah, because they know suspended that you can't sign another listing,
said,
right?
No, I'm going to suspend.
You have to cancel.
September.
No, you could,
right?
It's seller's choice. Nobody can force you. So like if you have a client saying, no, my agent saying I'm under contract until September, I can't, it's suspended. No. You can't force, you can sign a cancellation, it's their right.
Say, I'm not going to list the property, but you have to terminate.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are a big trouble. That's why you say terminate.
Yeah. But a lot of people, they brought in the holdover period because the holdover period never existed a long time ago, right? But they brought it in because people were saying they'd bump into the owner and they say, hey, I want to buy your house. Don't pay this guy commission. It expires in a day or two. I'll just come back next week and I'll buy it from you privately. You know what I mean? A lot of that was going on and a lot of this was going on with agents. So that holdover period protects us for our work.
Nowadays is when it happen a lot of houses.
Yeah.
Because like the price going down, right? So
yeah.
Walking and
yeah.
Might knock the door and
oh yeah.
Price gonna go down a little bit slowly.
A little bit, yeah. Bidding wars aren't as aggressive. People are only getting 3 offers versus like 15, right?
Yeah.
So if they say it's turning into a buyer's market a little bit, we'll see. We'll see how long it lasts, right? Like I say, 20.
I like this.
Yeah. I like it slower too. That's what I say. I think a lot of agents feel that way. I mean, it sucks for our sellers. We really keep the price if they're high and aggressive, fine, no problem. But for our buyers, I like it. I miss the home inspection, so that you don't have the worry. You're not like holding your breath after they close. What's wrong with that house that we just went firm on, right? It's a difficult market to be working in right now, right? And you have to adapt, especially since honestly, this didn't come up. Like I've been doing this 15 years now. 2016, 2017 was really when everything was a bidding war. And it was a completely different market than I'd ever been in. You had to retrain your mind the way you negotiate things, the way you put in offers for your clients. It's difficult, the way you explain things to your buyers of how the sale is going to happen, it's difficult to work your mind around it. So it's definitely something you have to think about. Yeah, so I'm just going to go over these 2 quickly and see what we have time. So expired and terminated, we went over how to tap into those a little bit. And then calling around just listed or just sold. So why am I calling a just listed property or a just sold? Okay, I'm not directly calling that just listed. I'm calling around it. Obviously, I'm not calling that just sold. I'm calling around it because the property just sold. So it doesn't matter if it's your property, someone else's property, you're just calling a neighborhood. So you really want a listing in this pocket in Dorset Park, and something just went up on 123 Kennedy. So now you're going to Canada 411 here, like I was showing you guys, and you're going to go reverse address, and I'm going to go Kennedy Road, right? And this is how I would call around just listed and just sold. Obviously, you know how to look up just listed and just sold, so I'm not going to do the available and unavailable there. But Kennedy Road, Toronto there, I'm just going to look it up. And here I've got everybody's number on Kennedy. So, 123 Kennedy Road went up. 279 is not too far from that. What do you say for your just listed and just sold? You sit there and you go, hey, you know what? I just saw that something went up in your neighborhood. Did you see? Wow, they put it up for 1.4. Are you thinking you're buying or selling? No. Do you know somebody who wants to buy or sell? No. It's like a pick your own neighbor program, though. You can pick who your new neighbor is. You don't know anybody who wants to move into the pocket? No. Okay, great. Thanks. Call the next one. Same with the just sold. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to call and you're going to say, hey, that just sold for 1.4 million. Can you believe it? Are you thinking you're buying or selling in the near future? Oh yeah, I was kind of kicking around the idea. You think we could get that too? Oh, of course. Let me come and see your house. I'd love to chat about it, right? Your goal is to get in the door at all costs. So it's whatever you're comfortable doing. So calling just listed and just sold is a little colder call than calling your terminated and expireds. But if you're doing a farm area, which we're going to talk about next briefly, if you're picking a farm area, sometimes you run out of terminated and expireds if you're doing them on a regular basis for your cold calls. So this gives you a different angle in which to call people, especially if you have your own listing. Call your just listeds, right? Call everybody in that neighborhood. Let them know you've got it. It's twofold. You seem really proactive for your clients, but also you're appealing and talking to everybody in the neighborhood, finding out if they want to buy or sell, and you have a higher chance of double ending it because 6 degrees of separation. Someone knows somebody who wants to move into the neighborhood. Oh yeah, you know, my daughter really wants to move to the neighborhood, or my neighbor down the street said her son just got married and they're looking to buy a house in the neighborhood because they're living in the basement right now. You get that information when you talk to all the neighbors, right? And finally, we're going to go, well, I guess we can do open house now. I've been skipping open house because of COVID. Geographical farming. So I've gone over this again and again. You guys should all have a farm area, even if it's not something that you're cold calling or door knocking, but it's wherever you're sending, whenever you go to look for business. So I explain like geographical farming, everybody has to have a farm area. You're going to obviously take business from anywhere. If someone calls you for a listing in Mississauga or Oshawa, we're going. It's not far. It's in our sphere of where we work, right? But our farming area should be our ideal place to work, our ideal listings. So I like, you know, bungalows in Scarborough because it's a high turnover. It's something you get a lot of. It's good inventory. So when I put my marketing budget money towards, is always Scarborough homes. And I like to work like, you know, usually around where I live, right? Or around where I work, which is a little bit further now that I moved here, but it's still close by. But it's going to be a little area of maybe 400 or 500 homes. You need to be the person of that neighborhood. So, you know, when you go into a neighborhood, there's a certain guy who lists all the time in that neighborhood, that it should be you in your farm area. So you should be able to drive in that farm area and go, okay, Joe lives there. Ethel lives here. Okay. Johnny said he was selling soon. Sally just had a baby. I think, you know, Johnny said he might be moving to the retirement home soon. You know, I know these people, they're getting a divorce, or that guy's doing a major renovation. You should know your geographical farm area well, and you should know the people in it and keep in a regular contact with it, right? And tell those people in that neighborhood, hey, if you want to know anything about the neighborhood, when the sign comes up on that lawn, give me a call and I'll tell you what the price is, what I think it's going to sell, if there's a bid date, because you're deferring them from calling that sign that's coming up in their neighborhood, because your farm area should call you for information, right? Your farm area should always think of you as their agent, not the signs that are going up in the neighborhood of listings you didn't get, right? And the last one before we run out of time is open house. And now we're allowed to do open houses again. It's a great time, right? I know they consume a lot of your time, but if you're coming to my office and saying, I'm slow, what do I do right now? I don't know. You have a listing? No. Okay. Does someone else have a listing and they're not doing an open house? Go do an open house. You're just going to sit there and collect names that are coming in the door, because only one person can buy that house. But you know, the 10, 15, 20 other people that sign on there are going to put their name, the number, the email, and there'll be people that you could pick up and go and show other things to. Now, 20 people have signed a register. I'm going to tell you, you're going to get 5 fake numbers, 4 fake emails, right? 2 people who have an agent, but they signed your register anyways. You might get 3 people, but just think of it, 3 buyers, 3 actual buyers, 2 actual buyers. Even if you get 1 sale by sitting there that Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon, 1 buyer you can work with. Now you've got a sale and a buyer if it's your listing, right? So it's good. It's good. It's a great way to collect numbers. Really, open houses are truly only for agents. It's rare a house gets sold in an open house. So open houses are purposely designed for us to sit there and collect more business. Use the tool for yourself, right? And you guys will prosper and get more leads. All right. How's everybody doing online? Everybody good? Thursday evening. It was the first beautiful day finally we've had in May. because I've been like complaining. I'm like, I thought it was April showers bring May flowers, not May showers. Like, I'm just tired of the rain. I hope next week's going to be sunnier. Hope more days like this. I'm ready for it, ready for the nice weather. Yeah, and I guess I'll see everybody Tuesday morning then. Take care.